Good morning to you all out there. This is your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you live straight out of NYC on the very last day of 2021. Can't believe that. No, you know what? Let me stop. I believe this is the last day of the year. I could even feel it. Usually it doesn't really feel like it. But this year, with everything that was going on, this feels like the last day of 2021. So hopefully everything is set with you all, your families, whatever New Year's celebrations y'all have going on, or whether you're going to go to church, or whether you're just going to be quiet and just stay in the house like myself. I ain't going nowhere. I'll watch the ball drop. So I wanted to talk about everyone's favorite person that they love, but everyone's favorite person that they love to hate because she does talk a lot. And I'm talking about Wendy Williams. So pretty much, Wendy Williams, as you all know, has been quiet for the last couple of months due to her not being in the purple chair. So Wendy Williams is on a hiatus, but most likely she won't return, not just because of her health, but because the show is renewed up to 2022. And after 2022, more than likely, like even before, they weren't going to renew the show, nor are they going to have her name attached to it, even as an executive producer. More than likely, they're going to get other people to premiere the new show under Denmark Mercury in 2022. So Wendy Williams actually spotted out in New York City after taking that much needed break when she went down to Miami. And I gotta say, homegirl looks really nice. She really does. And I'm gonna post some photos. And I even created a collage where you see her not only looking like herself, but also she's walking a lot better. She does have people around her. And I'm happy for her with that, because when you have things like lymphedema, you still need people to assist you to walk wherever you go. So according to page 6 of the New York Post, it reads, Wendy Williams was spotted in New York after Miami Wellness Center visit. New York City agrees with Wendy Williams. The daytime talk show host was all smiles while being photographed back in New York City on Tuesday after visiting a wellness center in Miami earlier this month. Williams was wearing her beloved oversized black boots, a fur coat, and a Hermes bag as she assisted into an SUV by her driver. Accompanying her on her outing to what appears to be the Upper East Side was her son, Kevin Hunter Jr. It's unclear what she and her son were up to while out and about in the Big Apple. Even though Williams is back in New York, it had already been announced that she would not return to her eponymous talk show host in the new year because of her ongoing health issues stemming from Graves' disease and other undisclosed maladies. The Wendy Williams Show will continue to feature guest hosts in early 2022. Fat Joe and Remy Ma will take over when the show returns January 10th, while Michael Rappaport will return to host the daytime talk show after that. The duo of comedians, Kim Whitley and Finesse Mitchell, will then take over hosting duties, and fan favorite Sherry Shepherd will close out the month. Even if she did come back, she'd be a lame duck because her show isn't renewed beyond this season. An insider exclusively told page 6 following the announcement. The guest host announcement came amid rumors that Williams has no plans to return to the show as she continues to battle various health problems. As such, the ex-Wendy author had been staying quiet about her well-being until she told the paparazzo outside the Miami Wellness Center that she was doing fabulous. Okay, so I've been reporting about Wendy Williams since November. I did about 4 uploads about Wendy. Now, here's my take on this. I said before, I said again, more than likely, Wendy is not going to come back. And it has a lot to do with the lymphedema issues, as well as remember when they were saying that she was suffering from on-site dementia, like dementia that was like very, very causing her difficulty to walk, difficulty to be able to do stuff. She wasn't even remembering well. And I'm not going to lie, I did see a little bit of that when she was in the purple chair just before her mother passed away. If you remember that scene, that episode when she was wearing the black set that looked like a pajama set, it was really nice. And she was acting weird, and she was forgetful of like what she was reading on the teleprompter and what she wanted to say. Her thoughts were sounding like a little bit gibberish. That is a sign of dementia, but that's also one of the indicators of lymphedema, because a lot of times the fluid that's from your brain and other parts of your body, it goes down into your feet and your legs and your ankles. And what happens is the fluid that is missing from your brain causes you to not act like yourself. I witnessed that with people in my family. So lymphedema is no joke. So that's why I say the lymphedema issue is the big problem, because it wasn't just causing the physical abnormalities, but also the mental abnormalities. Now, I do believe that Wendy also does not want to come back. And let me explain why. Wendy doesn't like to seem like a failure. She doesn't like that because it goes back to her parents ridiculing her because of being overweight. Her parents ridiculing her also because of, her not doing that well in school in terms of like high school. But at college, she was a 3.7 GPA with her major. And I don't know if she graduated with honors, but she did a hell of a great job at college. She doesn't like to fail, because if the show is more than likely not going to be renewed beyond 2022, she doesn't want to be on there knowing that her show got canceled. So it's sort of like, okay, I'm already dealing with these health issues. If I don't come back and they cancel the show, they can't say that I, Wendy Williams, was the cause of the show being canceled. They can say, oh, it was all the guest hosts that caused the show to be canceled because they were not that captivating and they weren't interested, and the audience wanted me to be there and not them, even though Sherri Shepherd's doing a great job. And I'm going to talk about Sherri Shepherd right after this. Now, when it comes to Wendy Williams, it can also be her ego. She's also ego-driven, believe it or not. And it could be her saying, without me, the show is going to flop. No one cares to see anyone else but me. They want Wendy. And if I can't give them Wendy because of my health reasons, then the show is not going to work. So Denmark Mercury, you're not going to have a hit on your hands without me. And when you sign somebody to be my successor, the show is going to flop maybe after a year or two. So this is like Wendy's way of saying, in so many words, I wouldn't say kiss my ass, but this is her way of getting back at everybody through the years that talked about her. This is also her way of getting back at her husband, because believe it or not, her husband was an executive producer of the show. His name was attached to it. And even with the whole thing that went down, if you all know, during like the divorce, she had to pay him money, which I thought was so freaking unfair. Especially when he cheated on her and had a baby with her while they were married. This is also her way of ending the show so that he don't ever have to get another dime from her ever again. Okay? Now, supposedly, he's marrying Sharina, which means off the record, off the cuff, he can't get any more alimony because he's going to be married to Sharina. But if the show is ended, the Wendy Williams show, he can't make another dime from the show as well. That means his, gravy train with Wendy Williams is over. And I feel as though Wendy wants to end it. I think Wendy wants to move on because it's bad memories of something that was really sort of like a happy moment. Because Wendy, in the beginning, I would say the first 8 years of the Wendy Williams show, she was so happy. I feel as though things went downhill with the show when Antoine the Wig just passed away. Suddenly, when that happened, it was like there was no show. Also, too, when her son got on, he had to go to the Usha village because of basically like coming in contact with like the synthetic weed. That just destroyed her also. So I believe that those two things was like the decline of like Wendy feeling the stability, and then also like what Kelvin did to her, that just did it. So I think she just wants to wrap things up and move on. And I think the best thing for what Wendy should do is go to YouTube, do a show, do podcasting, but also do your own show where you do it like, instead of like having like a audience, have your purple chair or whatever in your home and host from there. Because when she was doing hostings on her show, on the Wendy Williams show during the pandemic, people were watching when she was working. And so I think that the Wendy Williams brand itself, I don't think there's anything that's really in danger necessarily. But her being the talk show host where she's in a studio and she has to wear the shoes, she has to do promotions, I think those days are like kind of like far gone for her. And then she wants to also make sure Kevin Jr. Has a successful career, gets married, have children. I'm sure she's looking forward to being a grandma. So I'm happy to see that Wendy looks well. I'm happy that she's with her son and they have like a strong bond. They seem like they're actually stronger than they were a couple of years ago. And that's the beauty of this whole situation. And with that being said, it's your girl, Miss Analytical. I am signing off. I will be back shortly to talk about Sherri Shepherd and her future as the possible future of her being the next talk show host, replacing Wendy Williams. And hopefully you all have a wonderful day. It's supposed to be beautiful outside of NYC. I'm going to go out later on, do some shopping for myself, and I will talk to you all soon and shortly. Later.